Smith and Nelson in the morning on 94.9 KISS FM.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM. Smith and Nelson in the morning, and you can listen along with your free KISS FM mobile app. Rainy start to the day. Rain's kind of the name of the game for our day. Going to be seeing some showers here for the morning. It's supposed to take a break kind of for the midday, and then in the afternoon kind of kick in again and pretty much have a good chance of showers through the rest of the day. Highs in the mid-50s today, about 56, and mid-50s for the next couple of days. But good news is, looks like tomorrow and the weekend at least should be mostly dry.
That's good.
We'll take that. All right. Usually it's us talking about how you can win tickets, be listening to what time we're giving them away. Not the case, but still details how you can head out to a show at KettleHouse Amphitheater this summer.
That's right. This is pretty cool. This Saturday is Record Store Day, which, of course, the annual day. This has been going on for like 15 years now, where like independent record stores just kind of celebrate the culture of having that kind of vibe, that independent record store owner thing that goes on, you know. People love their record stores, and Logjam is offering 2 free tickets through a random drawing on Record Store Day for a bunch of shows at KettleHouse. So you get your choice out of like 15 different shows that you can go to, and all you got to do is go to any participating record store that's like all across the Northwest. So it's not even just Missoula.
Yeah,
they got
right.
stores in Billings, Bozeman, Livingston, Spokane. But here in Missoula, there are 2 spots where you can enter: Ear Candy Music or Rockin' Rudy's, and that's going to happen this Saturday.
You can pretty much look through the lineup of shows out at KettleHouse and just go, that one looks the best to me. I'll take that one.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good variety of shows. Some alternative stuff like 311 and Bastille. You got Phil Lesh. You got Old Crow Medicine Show. Joe Russo's Almost Dead. Punch Brothers. It Fits in the Tantrums. Revolution. Shaky Graves is in there. Flogging Molly.
So you're saying there's quite a few.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's almost every KettleHouse show that's scheduled that isn't already sold out. I believe that's kind of what it is.
And Record Store Day, pretty cool because they always kind of release limited edition things or exclusives.
Yeah.
Something you could only maybe get on that day. Which you're a record man now.
I am a record player owner now. Yes, I've joined that club. So I actually I went to the record swap that over at the Senior Center. I think that was last month.
Last month, right?
Yeah, it was last month, and that's where I first built up my collection. So I've got a decent amount of records now. But I just got the record player a couple months ago. So I'm excited to have my first Record Store Day as a record player owner.
You got the record player a couple months ago?
For Christmas, yeah.
How much have you used it?
Every once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right now the novelty is still there where it's like, we should put on a record instead, because the record player is also a Bluetooth speaker, so we can use it for both. So we have that option too. But whenever we're using it to clean the house or whatever, like I'm like, oh man, we should put a record on instead, and then flip it over every 15 minutes.
Do you get that urge where like a song will come on and you want to skip it? I can't do it with my phone.
No, I know, instinctively, that's going to be more work. So I just let the record play. I go through the records and see okay, which one do I want to just listen to the whole way through?
Because I'll be doing something around the house, and have my phone tied to the speaker or something, and it's just so handy to skip, whatever. But then if I play it through Alexa or something,
sure,
I can't. I mean, I can tell it to skip ahead. But with the phone in hand, you look at the playlist skip that one, skip 3 songs away. Yeah, that's the one I want. I feel like it'd be the same thing with the record player. You'd be kind of used to that and go, I can't.
Yeah, no, I know I got to just leave it going and do its thing. But I'm really enjoying it. It's really cool. And there is, I think, a notable sound difference too.
For sure.
With the records, So, and that makes all the difference too. So I love that.
All right. Record Store Day is Saturday. You can check out the different shows that you can maybe win tickets to, and nothing else, kind of go check out some of the cool exclusives.
Absolutely.
You going to do it up this year? This will be your first official record day.
This will be my first
as a record player owner.
Exactly, yeah. So I got to check out what's available. But, I would like to check that out for sure.
All right. Details, your KISS FM mobile app for more.
This part of Smith and Nelson in the morning brought to you by Hunter Bay Coffee, Montana's premium gourmet coffee roaster.
Unplugged. Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM, Smith and Nelson. Starting our morning, some rain showers out there. Supposed to die off for a while, but it looks like by the later part of the afternoon, should see that rain returning. A high today and the next couple of days in the mid-40s, including about 57, right in there for Missoula here today. A check of weather for the morning from Claim Jumper Casino.
That's right. Great food and entertainment come together at the Claim Jumper Casino, 3021 Brooks, Missoula, next to Southgate Mall.
Before we get Nashville news for the morning, I wanted to mention this, that the outdoor movies have returned to the drive-in in Hamilton.
Yeah, the Faroplex Theater is reopening its drive-in for the summer, and I think some people, I feel like it was a little unclear on whether they were going to be able to do that or not, because the theater itself has been closed since, I think, August.
Yeah, so the theater's closed, but,
yes.
but in the drive-in, they're opening.
There's no indoor movies at the Faroplex at the moment, but the drive-in will be back for the summer, which this drive-in just popped up 2 years ago, like post-COVID. It was like kind of their solution to get people out there, go see movies again. And yeah, it's going to be reopening beginning of May. May 6th, it's going to be back for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Not a lot of drive-ins left these days.
No, yeah.
Like it worked because it was right, with COVID, and it worked like they were showing the screenings of like the concert movies that were happening.
There were concert movies. There's a lot of classic movies they were showing. Yeah,
it was just kind of odd that you're opening a drive-in these days. It's like I'm gonna open me a Blockbuster tomorrow.
Yeah,
let's see.
I mean the drive-in's a lot of fun though. And,
it's super fun.
It's great, and it is also kind of like unless people in Hamilton want to drive an hour to Missoula, it's like their only option to go to the movies over the summer.
Since the actual theater's closed.
Exactly. So at least they have this for sure. But the drive-in's going to be reopened in May. We got the details on the website, and I'm excited to see it back. When COVID hit, I drove out to the drive-in a few times.
I remember that.
Just because I was so movie deprived, I needed to get something going on.
I remember that.
It's cool to see it back.
I wonder if they'll do any more of those big concert movies. I feel like they've kind of lost the luster a little bit. Like when we're in the middle of it all, the pandemic, there was no concert, so it was kind of scratched that itch a little bit.
Yeah, there were like 4 or 5 of them at the drive-in that first year. I think Garth Brooks did one, I want to say.
I think he was one of them.
Yes.
And then last year, I think they did like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I feel the excitement kind of wasn't there, so I wonder if any more will happen moving forward.
Absolutely, yeah. I think this is like one of 3 or 4 drive-ins left in Montana, which, I mean, this one just popped up a couple of years ago, which is not usually how drive-ins go.
Exactly.
Usually they're dying out.
Exactly.
That's
what I was saying.
Yeah, so pretty cool to see it still up and running. It's great.
All right, Faroplex reopening coming up next month. We've got details, your KISS FM mobile app for more. We've got Nashville news right here for your morning. Your Music City 60 with KISS.
What they say, what they tweet, what they do, it's what's making news in the world of country music. This is the Music City 60 on 94.9 KISS FM.
Country icon Reba McEntire's partnered with Harper Celebrate to come up with her very own lifestyle book. She said in a recent interview, the book will have some of her own personal photographs, memories, recipes, and life lessons. Reba's current gospel album, My Chains Are Gone, is ranked in the top 10 in the Billboard Top Country Album charts, and she just finished her Reba Live concert tour with 20 stops. The new to country artist Elle King said in a recent interview that people are happy in country music, and she's been glad to have tripped and fallen into country. With her current chart-topping duet with Miranda Lambert, Drunk, Elle's got a new duet coming out with country star Dierks Bentley called Worth a Shot, and Elle's got more country in the works, she says. Country singer Jana Kramer had an unusual guest on her podcast, Whine Down. She invited one of her ex-husbands, Jonathan, to the show to talk about none other than their past relationship. One of the problems Jonathan admitted was that he hadn't completely healed after the breakup of his marriage to actress Christina Applegate, and he still had feelings for Christina and sometimes even called Jana by Christina's name. Now that can't be good. Since then, Jana went on to marry and divorce Mike Cosson, and the two talked about Jana's struggle in that relationship. You can catch Jana's Whine Down wherever you hear podcasts. I'm Tamma Fulton. Catch you later.
And now you're in the know with Nashville. Smith & Nelson's Music City 60, 94.9 KISS FM.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM. Smith & Nelson, Missoula lip sync battle happening this weekend. Your chance to win tickets for the fun show happening here in just a couple moments. First, a weather check. Coming in this morning, rain coming down. Looking out the studio window here, looks like that's kind of stopped for the time being. Although still a chance of some showers for the early part of the morning here. Looks like we should kind of dry out for the middle of the day, and then rain back in the forecast by the later part of the afternoon. Overnight temperatures tonight in the upper 30s. Next couple of days, we'll pretty much do the same thing as we see here today with highs in the mid-50s. Weather for the morning from the Advocates Injury Attorney.
That's right. If you've been in an accident, don't go it alone. Call your local Advocates Injury Attorney. They take the stress away, deal with the insurance, and get you the settlement you deserve. They don't get paid until you win. Call the Advocates today at 406-640-4444 or MontanaAdvocates.com.
All right, the Missoula lip sync battle. This was really one of the first, I think, events and things happening in town that kind of started to get the schedule toyed around with a little bit by the pandemic.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I remember it was supposed to happen in April 2020 or something like that.
It was either late March or early April.
Yeah, exactly. And then everything shut down. They pushed it like a month. And they were like, it'll be fine.
That was that little time frame where everybody thought, like, give it a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It'll be okay. So I think they pushed it for, like 3 weeks down the line.
Exactly, yeah. And then obviously that didn't come to be. So they ended up having to push it until the next year. And when it finally got to happen, they did it outside. They did it in Ogren Park.
Yeah, usually happened over at Denison Theater. Last year had to do it at Ogren Park, so kind of a whole different feel.
Yeah, we were both there last year.
Yeah,
you were one of the judges, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, turned out worked great, but still just kind of I don't think it was the super ideal setup for doing kind of a show like that. So they're back at the Denison Theater this year. Missoula Lip Sync Battle on Sunday. Very fun if you're not familiar. Just what it sounds like. People lip syncing along, but also doing it, putting on a show.
Exactly, yeah.
In kind of in costume, in character, and just watching the different. It's fun to just see the people, what songs they pick.
Yeah, definitely.
And then how how much effort they put into kind of the stage presentation and stuff.
Yeah, and sometimes it's like mashups of certain songs. It's like a mix of adults and kids too. So there's a whole bunch of different generations of music that are represented with Lip Sync Battle.
And you're trying to outdo everybody because there's the title belt on the line,
of course,
for the different age groups. Money on the line for the winners. So a lot of fun. People had to submit their videos to make it into the show, and then the fun is happening on Sunday. So this is happening over the Denison Theater. Show goes from 4 until 6. Be a great way to wrap up the weekend.
Yeah.
Just go out and watch people have a little bit of fun. You could lip sync along. don't sing along if you don't want people hearing you sing. But
right.
Since you're at the lip sync battle, just there you go.
Yeah, continue to lip sync
as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good time.
All the money, pretty cool. It goes to Can't Make a Dream, which is a cool organization helping those affected by cancer. If you want to check out some details, lipsyncmissoula.com is the website. But yeah, like you said, we were both there last year. Ton of fun.
Yep.
And tickets still available. If you want tickets, lipsyncmissoula.com. You can still get in and see the show on Sunday. But if you want to go, we'll set you up here this morning. We'll give somebody a 4-pack right now.
That's right. All you got to do is give us a call at 543-9500. I believe we're going with call number 6.
We'll do number 6, yeah.
All right, number 6, 543-9500 is the number.
94.9 KISS FM. This is what's newsy and noteworthy with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is. What's newsy and noteworthy for your morning. And 2 weekends ago, an entire Home Depot in San Jose, California, basically burned to the ground. Now we know what happened. Apparently, this guy was going in there planning to steal a bunch of tools and decided to create a diversion by starting a small fire in one of the aisles.
Start a fire, everybody rushes to that, you sneak out.
Exactly,
okay.
Yeah. An employee stopped him while he was trying to walk out with his shopping cart full of tools, and then he drove off in a getaway car. Home Depot's full of stuff that's flammable. They got wood, they got chemicals. The fire spread, ended up gutting the entire building. It was so big you could see the fire from space. That's how insane that was.
You walk around to Home Depot, I mean, there's a ton of employees.
Yeah.
You can't think that you start a little fire, like every single employee is going to just flock to it.
Yeah, but police eventually caught the guy. He was arraigned this week, facing charges for grand theft, petty theft, 3 counts of arson, around $17 million worth of inventory burned up in the Home Depot. But luckily, no one was hurt.
Wow.
So there's that.
There you go. At least that's the good part of the story.
Yeah.
24-year-old woman in California recently arrested for sliding off an American Airlines flight. The plane was just about to take off. She became upset about something, opened up one of the cabin doors. That made the inflatable slide deploy. She slid down, just started walking away on the runway until officers arrested her, charged with disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, and harassment. She won't say what set her off.
Okay.
Apparently, but what level do you have to be on to where like you have some sort of an anger issue about what's happening on a plane?
Right.
To just open the door, slide down the slide.
Just get me off of this plane.
Storm off down the runway.
That's wild. This is a weird story. A woman got married in February, and the reception featured a dinner that was laced with marijuana. But the guests did not know that. The woman and the caterer did this together and kind of did it as like a prank. They thought it would be funny. The guests would be excited, like it was a gift. The guests were not happy about it. Were not informed about it, and it wasn't long before I started feeling high, sick, confused, paranoid. A 69-year-old woman told cops she had no control over her mind and body, was playing strange things on her, and the groom had no idea what was happening. A few guests were hospitalized. Everyone's fine.
It was a gift. It's a gift. It's our gift to you.
It's a fun little thing.
So thanks for coming, gift.
Yeah, we drugged you without your permission. But both the bride and the caterer are now facing felony charges as a result.
All right. I think both of us pretty excited for the new Nicolas Cage movie that comes out this weekend.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's a movie that was made specifically for me.
Looks pretty fantastic. This is pretty cool. Nicolas Cage was on Jimmy Kimmel.
Yeah.
Talking about his love of Las Vegas. And he talked about how he turned $200 into a $20,000 win.
Wow.
At a roulette table while he was in the Bahamas. Ended up giving the money to an orphanage.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like a Nicolas Cage thing to do.
Yeah.
After probably won it from the table, just ended up headed to the orphanage, slapping down a pile of cash.
Yeah,
really.
on his way out.
Boom, here you go.
There you go. Love that. The U.S. Capitol was briefly evacuated last night when a plane was misidentified as a probable threat. Turned out the plane was actually filled with U.S. Army parachuters who were doing a demonstration of the Nationals game against the Diamondbacks. I guess Capitol Police came out, said there wasn't a threat. The evacuation was out of an abundance of caution. But for some reason, there was some crossed wires, miscommunication. Nobody told the Capitol that, the U.S. Army was going to be there.
The Nationals, just obviously the name of the team and whatever.
Yeah.
They have it seems like they do a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it seems weird that this would be one that no one would know about.
Right, it's weird.
All right, final one. California homeowner recently found 5 bears hibernating under her home. She heard some rumblings coming from below, so she kind of investigated, found that the bears were asleep, and the snoring is what she heard. She called an organization. They came to remove the bears, woke the mama bear up. Mama woke up the 4 cubs, and they just kind of walked off and headed into the forest. They'd been under the home for 4 months hibernating. She had no idea. Going about her daily life for 4 months with 5 bears living underneath and had no idea.
That's crazy.
Imagine hearing, like, what is that? What is that noise? And peeking under. If there was a Guinness World Record for how big your eyes could stretch,
right?
She probably would have won
said
right
it.
there, yeah. All right, there you go. Newsy, noteworthy for your morning. Smith and Nelson, it's KISS.
Vacations, staycations, more summer fun. What will you do when you win cash?
Oh, my God.
Listen for the double dollars code words at 20 past the hour weekdays between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. Daily winners get $2,000. Keep it all or give $1,000 to a friend because sharing is caring. Woo! Get up to $10,000 cash. Open our app for full rules and info. Brought to you by
The Advocates Injury Attorneys. You deserve an advocate.
Nelson, Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM, plus Smith and Nelson on demand from your free KISS FM mobile app. All right, hang on here just moments. Survival tips that when you really break them down, they're actually myths that are probably going to do more damage than help.
Survival tips that are going to kill you? Is that what?
Yeah, pretty much.
But
I think they're all things that we've all heard before.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that here in just moments. First, we got to tell you, part of the morning brought to you by Taco Time.
That's right. Check out the fish taco filled with crispy white fish, shredded cheddar, cabbage, and salsa fresco with creamy cilantro lime sauce. Available right now at Taco Time on North Reserve.
All right, I think most of these things on this list are things that we've heard just over the years.
Yeah, I think so.
Being kind of like rules to follow.
Exactly. So
maybe not so much.
Yeah, these are survival tips that we hear about as rules to follow that are actually myths that might put you in even more danger, like drinking water from a cactus to survive in a desert.
Yeah, heard that before?
Sure, yeah. In one of the many, many situations where I've been stranded in a desert, I thought to myself, I should drink water from a cactus to survive.
Pull out the machete, chop a cactus open, and there's water in there. That's kind of that's always been a thing.
That's what I've been taught from Looney Tunes. I don't understand why it wouldn't work in real life. While 1 or 2 species of cactuses have a little bit of water inside, most cactuses are actually filled with acids that can cause diarrhea and
that ain't good.
Fatal dehydration. So, yeah, don't do that.
Technically, you're just making it worse.
Yes.
With dehydration and diarrhea, you're losing liquids from your body. Yeah, that's the exact opposite.
Exactly.
Of what the thought is.
Yeah, that is not what you want. Also on this list, opening all of your windows to survive a tornado. You hear about that? I mean, I guess depending on where you live, because there's greater tornado danger in different parts of the country and stuff. But where I was in New York, I mean, every once in a while,
you get tornadoes?
Not like Kansas style twisters or whatever, but you would get tornado warnings, and you would have tornado drills at school and that kind of thing every once in a while. Never anything super bad happened. But you would always hear opening all your windows to survive a tornado was like a thing. If you open your windows, it won't spread out the force of the tornado. It will actually create a wind tunnel that can rip off your roof.
Yeah.
So that's not great either.
Yeesh.
What you should do instead is spend time getting to the basement if you have one, getting to, like, undercover and stuff like that.
I got caught in a tornado warning once.
Did you?
I was in Nashville. I was actually inside the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow.
And, like, these sirens just started going off.
Yeah.
And I've never really been where tornadoes were a thing. Sirens went off, and like the announcement came on, and like, everybody got kind of shuttled into the these couple of different rooms. And we were basically on lockdown for like a half hour before they would even let anybody out. And then once they kind of opened it up, like I went outside and like the wind, it was probably the craziest wind I've ever been in. But like you said, it wasn't like a twister was blowing through the skyline or anything.
Yeah.
But it was just so windy. I remember going outside and I'd never experienced the wind like that. But it was pretty scary, just everybody getting hunkered down in the room and not knowing what was going on and meeting, and it never being like part of anything like that before.
Right, definitely.
Crazy.
Yeah, once me and my friend were driving.
And it didn't help that I was yelling, "Open all the windows!"
One time we were driving through Kansas, me and my friend, and we had a tornado warning while we were in Kansas, and we were like, "This is where tornadoes happen."
Right.
And there wasn't like an actual tornado, but like the sky turned black, and there was just like we saw like a million flashes of lightning, just like one after the other. It's pretty intense.
That's kind of what I remember too. It's just the how quickly the sky changed. Yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Also, speaking of lightning, lightning never strikes the same place twice. You hear that all the time, right? False. Absolutely, yes, it does. Apparently, that myth started because of a joke. The joke was lightning never strikes the same place twice because the same place isn't there anymore.
Once lightning hits the first time and zaps it.
Exactly, then that place isn't there. But actually, lightning can strike the same place, and people ignored the second part of that joke, so the myth just ended up being born out of that.
Boy, we goofed that one up, didn't we?
Yeah, we really did.
We're living by the phrase, lightning never strikes the same place twice. It's the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's great. And then finally, there's one last one here. Ration your water if you're stranded. Seems logical, right? If you're stranded somewhere, kind of pace the water that you got so you can make it last longer. But the right move is actually to ration sweat, not water. You got to try to stay cool, drink your water, and use the strength you get from that water to search for more water.
That makes sense.
Yeah, dehydration is much more dangerous.
Huh. Yeah, pretty much that entire list is things that you've just heard over the years.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even think twice about.
Right, things that would make sense to you to be in survival mode, and just something to keep in mind. If you ever find yourself stranded in a desert with only cactuses surrounding you and a tornado warning on the on the forefront, exactly. Yeah, these are the tips to keep in mind.
Montana's country leader, 94.9 KISS FM.
Craving.
It's Odds and Ends with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Yes, it is some odds and ends, and USA Today is running its annual Save Our Shows poll, where they take a bunch of shows that are in danger of cancellation, let you vote which ones should get renewed. It doesn't actually have any influence on what the networks decide or anything.
Just taking the temperature of people.
Exactly. Early frontrunners this year are Magnum P.I. and A Million Little Things. I have no idea what A Million Little Things is, but the Magnum P.I. show apparently still on the air. I had no idea that's still happening. Which is probably why it's in danger of being canceled.
Me neither. I remember the talk and doing the reboot or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard anything about it since.
I don't think I even knew that it actually made it to air. But Magnum P.I., the early frontrunner for the Save Our Shows poll.
All right. FDA, been looking into the Lucky Charms cases around the country. People say that they've, come down with illness basically after eating Lucky Charms.
We were talking about this yesterday, too.
Yeah, there's been complaints from yesterday. We saw complaints from every state. But apparently people really only got ill, pretty sick in a handful of states.
Okay.
But they're looking at the complaints. Some customers received $7 cereal coupons after sending their complaint letters to General Mills, accompanied by a letter apologizing that the cereal did not, quote, meet expectations.
Okay, well, and now it's fine.
When you complain that a product makes you sick, the last thing you want is a coupon to get a free product.
Here's a voucher for more Lucky Charms.
Of the same thing. That's been a weird story the last few days.
Yeah, it has. Kiefer Sutherland is apologizing for something that he may have helped popularize, and that is the mullets. Kiefer Sutherland had a mullet in The Lost Boys, the vampire movie from the 80s. He was trying to emulate Billy Idol, who he thought was really cool. His hair was all spiky, kind of punk up top. But director Joel Schumacher wanted the vampires to have long hair in the back, so it ended up becoming a mullet. He said, I think I may have accidentally been part of a movement that created one of the worst hairstyles of all time, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, he's owning up to it. That's the important part.
Yes, exactly.
Story says, state of Texas making overweight police officers slim down by the end of the year. Male officers that have waists over 40 inches and females with waists over 35 inches ordered to lose weight or face disciplinary action from the department, it says. It says over 210 officers failed the state's waistline requirement. They have until December 1st to slim down. They'll be barred from receiving promotions and overtime work.
Is this something they can do? Is this allowed?
That's what I was going to say. That seems like something that is on the no-no list. Like,
yeah.
As an employer, you cannot do. But I don't know.
Doesn't seem like they should be able to do that.
Maybe because, some sort of aspect of the job.
Yeah.
You have to have the
requires the physical activity and stuff.
I don't know.
Not really sure.
Maybe there's a little loophole there.
Maybe. There's a viral video going around. This is pretty insane. This woman was at a train platform in Argentina. She fainted and fell between two moving train cars. So she kind of falls in between the train that's moving through and the actual train stop. And it was so shocking. Other passengers looked the other way, was sure she was dead. But
so it was as the train was passing. It wasn't like before the train.
Yeah, no,
the
train was passing, and she just fell right into the crack right there. But rescuers pulled her out. She survived, barely a scratch. Not really sure how it worked out that way, but grateful that she's alive, I guess.
Right to the store for that lottery ticket.
Definitely.
On this date, a couple things for the day. 1789, John Adams sworn in as the first U.S. vice president on this day. This day in 1986. Geraldo Rivera opened Al Capone's vault on live television, and they found nothing inside.
There's nothing in there, right?
One of the great goofs of TV history.
Yeah.
All the build-up, and then they opened it up, and it was just empty.
Maybe you should have opened it before you went live on the air.
Sneak peek, yeah. This date in 2016, Prince was found dead at his estate.
Oh, man.
A couple birthdays for your day. Tony Danza, 71 today.
Oh, wow.
Man. Queen Elizabeth II is 96.
That's wild.
There you go. Some odds and ends for the day. Smith and Nelson, it's KISS.
When it's country in St. Regis, it's Montana's country leader. 94.9 KISS FM.
Carl
Smith and Nelson in the morning with 94.9 KISS FM. Next, code word. Chance to win some cash with our Double Dollars contest. Your code words from the Advocates Injury Attorneys. Next one coming up at 9:20 this morning. Chance to win either $2,000 or maybe even $10,000. This story is with your KISS FM mobile app or at kissfm.com. We just wanted to mention this, but just a big old pat on the back segment here for the morning.
Yeah.
There's a guy that is in the business graduate program over at the University of Montana, and also in the military.
That's two very hard things at the same time.
At the same time, Michael Blanchard is his name. Army Major Michael Blanchard actually has a really cool backstory.
Yeah.
In the sense that he first came to the university as a pole vaulter, and he was on the Grizz track and field team back in 2006.
Wow.
And it was while he was going to school is when he kind of learned about a military program or something and enrolled, and that kind of started his military career. Ended up going away and then coming back now, currently, for grad school. But the reason that he's kind of making news is that he just competed in the Best Ranger competition.
All right.
Which basically is just the best of the best when it comes to Army Rangers.
So this is an exhaustive physical challenge for Army Rangers.
I mean, it depends on your endurance. I mean, if you're going to call a 60-hour event spread over 4 days against other elite Army Rangers, if you're going to call that exhausting.
Well, I mean, yeah. I guess that's true. It's all about perspective,
that's
right?
That's right. But that's exactly what he was competing in. 60 hours of events spread over 4 days. I mean, that's 15 hours a day.
You're right.
That's crazy. And I mean, just think about what you're doing with all that. It's just push-ups and rope climbs and whatever it is they're doing. But anyway, he and his partner, who I guess the partner that he did it with isn't from here locally, but the two of them teamed up, finished 5th place.
Wow.
Out of over 50 teams which basically makes you considered among the top 10 Army Rangers in the country based on the physical competition.
That's pretty awesome.
So if that doesn't deserve a pat on the back, man, I don't know what does.
Yes, absolutely. That's incredible.
It says he runs about 40 miles, at least 40 miles a week, just for staying in shape for his kind of military duty stuff.
That's too many miles.
And then kind of getting geared up for this competition. Said he was throwing on like a 65-pound pack and taking long walks, just kind of building up the endurance and stuff. So 5th place, awesome story. Here's the kicker. Back in 2016, he and the same partner finished 3rd overall in the competition.
So this isn't even the best he's done in this competition.
No, but now we're 6 years later. He's considered the old guy at, I think, 34. I think it said he was.
Yeah.
Or it says kind of everybody else in the competition. Average age is about 28.
Okay.
So that
like
was
the Tom Brady of Army Rangers.
And that's kind of his saying is like, we're proving, we can still get it done type deal.
Right.
But yeah, so a 3rd place finish in this event years ago. Did it again here. Finished top 5. So, man, high five.
Yeah, pretty awesome.
High five for him. And like you said, man, that's not easy to have that job, have, be going to school.
Yeah. That's
training for that.
That's so many things all at once.
Woo! All right, there you go. Well,
I leave here and I have to take a nap.
Army Major Michael Blanchard is a cool press release that came out, and we have a link to the university and kind of a page that's dedicated to his story of competing in this. Very cool. But we just wanted to kind of mention him, put the spotlight on him a little bit this morning. You get all the details of his accomplishment and kind of check out what he competed in and how it went. KISS FM mobile app with more.
Now you know newsworthy nugget of the day with Smith and Nelson on 94.9 KISS FM.
Brought to you by Farside Sign, Missoula's leading full-service sign and custom vehicle graphic shop. Farside Sign in the 2200 block of South Avenue West.
Every day we try to bring you a little something that isn't common knowledge with your day-to-day.
Exactly, and this is a custom that I think we really should bring to America, too. Did you know, when you earn a PhD in Finland, you don't just get a diploma. You get some other stuff on top of that. You also get a hat and you get a sword.
Wow.
You get a PhD, a hat, and a sword when you earn your PhD.
I thought you were going to say, you get $10,000 to get out on your career.
That would be great, too.
A hat and a sword, though.
Yeah, hat and a sword. The doctor's sword is a symbol for the scientist's fight for what he or she, in rigorous research, has found to be good, right, and true. That is where the sword comes from. When you earn a PhD, you get a sword to go along with it. That's a pretty good deal. That's a cool prize.
Not a bad incentive for signing up for the program,
Definitely. I guess. Wouldn't that be great? You're at a grad school graduation, and you just see a whole series of graduates getting handed their swords instead of their diplomas.
Yeah, a little different than the way we do things.
Definitely, for sure. There you go. Need to or not, now you know.
This spring, you get double dollars when you win cash. You've heard of seeing double, right?
Yes.
Well, we want you to hear double. Team up with a friend to make sure you get all the code words entered on our app to increase your chances of winning.
Just keep it right here.
Then when you win cash, it's $1,000 for you and $1,000 for your friend. Catch the code words at 20 past the hour. Workdays from 8 to 5. Open our app for full rules and info. Brought to you by
The Advocates Injury Attorneys. You deserve an advocate.